Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I thought I would go over a new foundation that I have just tried. You know, when you go through Facebook and every now and then an ad comes out. That's just how I found that Shaper Mint thing, that underwear that's supposed to hold you in like a girdle, and other, you know, like eye bag stuff and things like that. Well, this caught my eye because this is an old brand. This is like from the 1970s, early 1970s, and it's called Il Makiage, and it comes in a box, very nice box actually, and then you get a little bit of history here and some fluff. It's very, very luxurious feeling. Now the foundation sells for $44. There are 50 shades. It is cruelty-free. It is absolutely amazing. This is called Makeup for Maximalists. I thought I would try it, and I thought the name sounded familiar. From 1972 is when they were regularly out. Il Makiage is the name of the company. Foundation, it's made in Italy, which I respect Italy so much for makeup. I think their baked bronzers and baked blushes and things like that are just glorious. They're wonderful. So when they said this foundation was made in Italy, I was right on it. I figured I would try it. Now, I have watched a few other reviews of this foundation, which is called Woke Up Like This, which is not like the Wander Beauty version. I think it's Wander Beauty that has a Woke Up Like This foundation as well. I think it's interesting they both have the same name. There's 1 ounce in this bottle, and it's very, very luxurious the way it comes out. I always shake it up when you pull off the top. There is a pump, and they recommend you put 2 pumps of this on the back of your hand, and then now they have directions if you have oily skin, and they have directions if you have dry skin. I tried it both ways. I also tried it with and without a primer underneath, and I tried it with a drop of oil in with my primer underneath it. So the best way to apply this, I felt, was to tap dots all over my face and then use a brush. I used my new Wayne Goss brush, my face brush for it, but I think any dense face brush will work really well. So I think it's a delicious foundation. When you put it on, your skin looks exactly like skin. It doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. It is not a shiny surface by any means. It's not a satin finish. I'd call it matte, but I'd call it more like real skin finish. I've not ever tried a foundation that gives you this kind of a finish. I wound up putting 2 layers on because the first layer I put on, I thought it just made my skin look natural. The shading, they have 50 shades, and I think that's great that they do that. And they ask you to compare, just like Sephora does a lot of times, with other makeups that you use. They say, well, what are you in Fenty, or what are you in CoverGirl, or what are you in, you know, any other brand? And then if you tell them the shade you're in, they'll tell you you've got an exact match, and they'll point at whatever. Now this is 40, I believe. Medium light. I'm just going to pump a little bit on there because it was a little on the expensive side, and I'm just going to show you it's an exact match for my skin. Exact. Now you get a medium coverage from this, and the thing about this that makes it almost a holy grail, and it may in fact be my holy grail, is that it lasted all day. And on my birthday, which was a few days ago, Bud and I took a day trip. We were outside, we visited my parents' grave, we went by my old childhood house, we went to an abandoned building, the discotheque where we met, and we were in a lot of harsh, different temperatures and environments. We were in the car, drinking, eating. You know, I had wiping my mouth, blowing my nose. My eyes were running from the cold air. So this foundation really got a test on that particular day, but I've worn it at work for all week, and I have to say, it lasts all day. I had wine that night at my birthday, and I passed out in my makeup the next morning the makeup didn't look different than the day I put it on. So that to me is just so telling as to the quality of the makeup and to how it works really well with me. Now I have normal to dry skin, and I have dry patches here and there. I have some deep set wrinkles. It did not sink into the wrinkles. It didn't move. Once I put it on, it didn't move. Now I did set it with a little bit of powder. I used concealer under my eyes and set that with a little bit of Laura Mercier under eye blurring powder. But when I put my contour, the blush, and my highlighter on, it just really all worked so well together. And I'm just really pleased with this makeup. I think it's excellent. Now this company, they don't just make foundations. They make other types of makeup as well. They do make blushes and eyeshadows and concealers and color correctors. Mascara is supposed to be pretty good. I haven't tried anything else from them. They are kind of, I guess their big motto is that they're aiming for maximizing makeup rather than minimalizing it. And the advertising that they've done, they first started in '72. They kind of faded out, and then they were repurchased a few years ago, and they relaunched the brand with all new products in Israel for 4 years. And they grew a bunch of stores there at the time. Was very successful makeup in Israel. So those of you who are from Israel or have been there will recognize this line. They do have a store in New York that's very, very modern, uber modern. But they are trying to make women proud of who they are and not apologetic for being high maintenance. And by high maintenance, it's not so much about money, it's about attitude. It's about asking for what you want, being what you want to be without reservation. Being late for a party because that's when you wanted to arrive. You know, they have these kind of little instances of the type of woman that they want to attract to this makeup line. And to me, you know, it's all a bunch of BS. It really is. What happens to me with a makeup line is, do I like it? I mean, is it working for me? Do I like it? Does it last? The lasting thing is big because during the day I work quite a long time during the day, and I don't have time to go and touch up makeup during the day at all, really. Once in a while I'll, you know, run to the ladies' room or something and I can, you know, check my mascara is running or retouch my lipstick or something, but I don't have time to redo my makeup, and I'm not the kind of person that will do that. So to find a makeup that lasts all day. Now, I'm not sponsored. They don't know who I am. I bought this with my own cash money. It was just because it was on Facebook. It was a very telling ad. Younger people hate this. I mean, younger people are not pleased with this, and I think it's because the finish is not severely overdone. It's your skin and better. It is not a good full coverage foundation. If you have oily skin, they suggest that you set it with a powder or bake. If you have dry skin, they suggest that you use a setting spray to set it. I didn't use a setting spray, and what I did really was just use really good moisturizer, and then I put a drop of squalene oil in with my primer, and I was using Too Faced Hangover RX, so fitting, with a drop of squalene oil in it as my primer, and I let that set in for a little bit before I put the makeup on. Now, I've tried it both ways. I tried putting it on with a sponge, and I tried putting it on with a brush. I like it with the brush a lot. I used my new Wayne Goss brush that I got in my Lucky bag, and it works really well with the brush. I dotted my face first. The sponge, I thought at first it made it a little patchy. So I think the brush, for some reason, it went over it really quickly and it did quite a good job. And then I took the sponge and then just lightly patted over the top of that. So I think for distribution, the brush is best. And then kind of airbrush it a little bit by using the sponge afterwards. I didn't try it with just my hands. I don't know, I'm kind of queasy about doing that. I used to do that when I was a teenager, but not so much anymore. But, so my final verdict on Il Makiage, excellent, excellent foundation. Is it Holy Grail? It could be. It really could be. It's definitely one of my top 2 favorites right now. So, I do recommend it. I think it's a great thing. The company motto stuff is a little kitschy and a little cheesy, but the fact they have 50 shades also very, very nice. And they've got a nice story, and I like to support companies that, well, first of all, they're cruelty-free, and also the product is good. Fairly priced, because it is a luxury item, it is fairly priced. It's pretty much the same as, any of the Dior's or Armani's or any of those. It's actually on the lower end of that price spectrum, so I definitely 2 thumbs up on that one. I think it's really good. Foundation. It's the most important piece in your beauty routine, but also one of the hardest to purchase, regardless of whether you're shopping online or at a crowded makeup counter. How do you even know if the shade or formula is right for you until you give it the true test at home? You don't. We know your standards are high. Ours are too, which is why we're proud to be the first brand to bring you a better way to buy foundation. Try before you buy. We've simplified every part of the tired process by taking the guesswork out of finding your perfect match and giving you 14 days to try it for free. Our mission is to give you the quality you demand without ever compromising on the flawless experience you deserve. Enjoy your foundation on your terms. No strings attached for 14 days. I hope you're as obsessed with it as I am. Sharon Holtzman-Errol, co-founder. And this is basically a snap of the different shades, and then it says 50 shades for all skin tones, natural matte finish, buildable medium to high coverage, second skin feel, 100% cruelty-free, vitamin E and hyaluronic acid for hydration and anti-aging. To last longer, prep skin with a primer and finish with a setting spray. Be sure to moisturize before applying foundation, especially if your skin is dry. If it's oily, set the foundation by dusting powder across your T-zone. This formula plays nice with a rounded full-bodied brush like our 100 foundation blending brush. A sponge works well if you're looking for lighter coverage. And I'll show you the shades. I don't know if you can see this. But you can see all the shades there. And then on the back there's all this fan mail that, they got, people who like it. I'm going to have to agree with that. I feel that this foundation does have a second skin feel. It does, it dries down, it's like a matte, it's a skin look. It's not shiny though, at all. It's not lustrous, it's not, satiny, and I don't think it's really high coverage. I think you have to put a second or third layer on and build it up to a high coverage, but the first layer is a medium light coverage, and then the second layer would be a nice medium coverage. It looks natural. Now the way that they do the shade finding for you is they will ask you what you are in other foundations, and then they will say, well, this is pretty close, and then they'll say, do you like to go lighter or darker with your foundation in the winter? I picked darker, and the shade that they sent me, which is shade 40, is an exact match to my skin, exact. So I would say that what I've seen from other people's reviews, they tend to go a little bit light with the choices when you make a choice, so go up darker for that question, and I think that you will find that the shade matches you perfectly. So the second part here is, as you know, I've been pushing you to go on to shophush.com because I know that they're definitely closing, definitely, because their customer service line is no longer working correctly, and also when I got my last shipment there was no packing list, and I got 2 Athena palettes. They gave me 2 Athena palettes, and those are like the Natasha Denona palettes, so I have a spare one here, and I'm going to give that spare one away. Let me show you the other one. Okay, so they're running out of stuff on the Hush.com website, but this is what the Athena palette is. They sent me 2 of these, and I did not order 2, so I was pretty upset about it, but I can give one away. I don't think they charged me for it because I got 5 palettes, a Koki foundation, an eyeliner, and a lipstick, and I, you know, and this was the 6th palette, and it was only $41. So I think that somebody put this in by mistake. So, you know, their mistake is your gain. So I will be giving this away, and a few other little things I'll add to the box. I need you to do me a favor, and to enter this giveaway, or even just to enter, just to write something. There's a tag going around about assumptions, assuming things about the people that you're watching on YouTube. And I really liked it. I was watching a few people do theirs, and they took questions that they got on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and I've just recently gone back on Twitter. And the last post I had was something about, you know, St. Patrick's Day dinner. We had some friends over, and I'm going to have a lot of gas now because of the corned beef and cabbage. And that was like my last Twitter tweet. I'm like, oh boy, yeah, so I've definitely got to get back with my game on the Twitter. So I will start going back on Twitter, but I need you to tell me what you assume about me. And you can make something up and you can put just kidding or whatever, but I need you to put things, start the sentence with, I assume you, and then say, like, live like the Ma and Pa Kettle family, or you're, you know, you live in a skyscraper in the city, or you have 12 siblings, or you dropped out of school in the 6th grade. You know, I assume you, you know, just start it with that and just put anything. You know, I just need some questions to answer about assumptions. Not that you'd actually be interested, but if you are. So I will reward somebody randomly who does comment to this video with the Athena palette, and I'll throw a few other things. I always throw a few other things into the box, and I will send it out to you. So on this actual video, I need you to say, I assume you, and then put some kind of statement down. And I don't care if it's good or bad, nothing too raunchy. And I will answer them in a future video. We're going to do it. Bud will ask me the assumption questions, and I will answer them. So it should be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're curious about. It could be any topic, marriage, parents, grandparents, where I was raised, how I was raised, religious belief, schooling, you know, anything like that. So I think it'll be fun. And it'll be a learn about me kind of video, which, you know, if that's important. Still working on this. I did get some flowers for my birthday. Really pretty, and it's one of my favorite colors. I turned 61. Yeah, it's weird when you're in the 60s. It's weird. It's just weird because up here you're still like 20-something, 30-something, but all the rest of me is definitely 61. So anyway, so I will next week, when I do the assumption video, I will announce the winner, and I'm going to give you until next week, which is March 2nd, Saturday, March 2nd, at noontime. I will announce a winner for the Athena palette, and it is so much like the Natasha Denona palette that it mimics. It's just, is it rose gold? I think it's the rose gold palette. But this is mine. This isn't the one you would have. But I mean, oh my gosh, look at this. Just a beautiful, it's a beautiful palette. It really is. You know, the thing with dupes, and somebody mentioned they thought Hush was closing because they were selling products that were dupes. And I don't believe that's the reason. I believe there's something else going on. Maybe there's managerial issues, or, you know, somebody's left the company, or they're having money issues or tax issues. You don't know. But I definitely, it's not to do with dupes, because each of those companies, Hush doesn't make these. It's the individual companies that they curate. They sell on behalf of all these other companies. They don't make the stuff themselves. So it's not them. It's Bad Habit that makes this. It's Beauty Creations. It's Face Candy. And I can't wait to show you some of the things I got. I will be doing quite a big February faves and flops. And we'll have a discussion about finance, because I ran into some financial issues this year. So I'm sure a lot of YouTubers are running into this too. So, okay, so comment below, start off your answer with "I assume you," and you will be entered into the giveaway. And I will be giving away the Athena palette from Bad Habit, which is a Natasha Denona dupe, and a few other things as well. So good luck to you, and thanks for watching. And if you're a new viewer, please subscribe, because it really helps me out, and you will be notified when I put up more videos. I do surprise giveaways all the time, but that's not the reason to like me. We're hanging out here, and I do a lot of reviews. I do save you some money, because I'm very honest. Nobody owns me. I'm never sponsored. Sometimes I get free product, but you know, I don't ever get free product the second time from a company usually, because I'm very honest about things, whether I like it or not. Now this was totally unsolicited, and this was something I did on a fluke, and I thought, you know, but sometimes it pays off to, you know, take that little jump. Leap of faith. So I hope that's helpful. I am entering a chili cook-off today, so I'm going to go and slice my jalapenos. And I hope all of you are having a wonderful week, and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.